Origin Yergin of Jean Bama Gezar Dombola, Yamzan Jogon, Udruni, Bama, John is Gisard. Gordon Wando Mambo Gorgi, Gizar, Dr. Jushin, Gilab Jasazon, Garaba, Master, the Goram Zamjadan, the Burns and Jimbo, Shazam, New Tribuna. The Jim Gabjala, Zola, and the Zushin, Yellow, Janazan, Varju, Zamba, and the bottom, John, the Mong, the Goram Zamjadan, the Burns and Jimbo, Shazam, New Tribuna, the Jim Gabjala Zola. Surround the Zojinjilo, Janazan, Varjo, Zamba, and the Badam, Jonan, the Mongo, Zoran, Garam Zamjadan, the Burns and Jimbo, Shazam, New Tribuna, the Jim Gabjala Zola, surround the Zojinjilo. Janazan, Varjo, Zamba, and the Badam, Jonan, the Mongo, Zoro, Mahon, Badan, Garaba, Mazardon, Mahon, Badan, Garaba, Mazardon, Mahon, Badan, Garaba, Mazardon, Mahon, Badan, Garaba, Mazardon. Mahon Badan Garaba Mazardon, 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 Gelada Jonsora, the Bindi, the Sogan, the Nibis of Johnson, the Don Bond of Javad. Chudan Gajin Beram Zad, Zoro, Jumdan Limgombo, Jahorayan La Jean Zalo. Lodrö the near the Nandaras. Chenya Donga Jibzan Jeremy the Garalavam Zanaga, the Beator Marum and the Muraches. Kanava Judabje and Lord of Jan Donson, to the Jedon and Monia Lonely Jezadon. Marum Zer Dungram Yaga, Jenya Jumza Radano, don't need the Johns of Jin, the Zon and the Lids of Jadito. Shadab Jadam Jenny Yentin Dalu Munzirin Jamra Yanda Tidana Jijim Jero Zere Dalu the Mumbar of Zani Gadam Damju Jolo Doba Lodu will be no get the so Nyarji Chimbo to the new Mejan Zone Mon Jimbo Nabja Pagaradang Zandu Germado, Domba de Janla Jantalo. Ya, teni, so terang, Rukpa, teni Chusokona la Yone, teni Natsu Sambanyam Denzum, the Chuchusha, Tindi Gorkubia Boyonwala, teni Naran Pemeba, Gapto Chimbo Chanson.
Good evening. I'm extremely grateful this evening to have this opportunity to be here at the Rigpa Center, have this opportunity to give a teaching.
Tani Rigpa Chutsozena, Sodyaram Boche, Tani, Zambalanga Sasha, Sosola, Tsoba Tindi Mambo, Tandi Zundu, Tani Mem Mambola, Tani Nangchu, Ngochuchiada, Tani Gum Yamlinchiada, the Sokotola Tsamaga. The
Rigpa Center, or there are Rigpa centers in many places over the world, and Rigpa has and does a great job in introducing Buddhism to people, and not just introducing Buddhism but also meditation methods, etc. And I'm extremely glad. I have great admiration and I rejoice in the work that Rigpa does.
Tani terang atso dani chamala kabdapsiya ga nangdon di kangre zina tani atso dirib nisha tsachik ba ga tani chu gangji drib go re ziki ta tani zika tone tani atso kabdapsiya re.
And the topic for this evening's conversation is how to go about being a Buddhist, or how to go about practicing Buddhism in the 21st century.
Tani dirib nishi tsachik bazayandi shukchini gatsu tani roa mirgla yargipe mambo tani pe yagbosunlo sa tani ta yang shukchini shana yang gatsu shusokotola yang nyokja haliba mambo ngarwa mambo shungwa tani dirib skris.
So the 21st century is a time, on the one hand, of great progress and material development. On the other hand, it's also a time of many challenges and conflicts.
Tani ngarang tso dirib jorgit jirgo nyeshin da tso nangla mambo go tani shik gyab tani kavle mambo gyab baba mambo shini ngubo yargi tangbare tani ngubo tarta pe yargi yagbo tani song dogsi.
Over the past several centuries, the 18th, 19th, 20th centuries, many people have expended a lot of effort in terms of material development, and the result is that we have achieved material progress.
Tani ngama yena ngarang chu chama ga tani rewa ngupo de la tani pe rewa chimpo jabre nga chu ngupo mangpo yo na tani chama la demo chipo yong gore ngupo mangpo yo sona te nga chu la jamba mangpo go mare samne mangpo ga tani samlo tani tangwares.
During this time, many people have placed great hopes on material things, placed great hope on material things and their ability to bring us happiness.
Di inang da nga chu tirib ni shi chachik pa tenji na la ten lep charwi jis teni ta mo cho ta sar ko nga chu ha ko yong go yore o ta nga chu ngubo de shetang goda gore nga chu la ngubo mena teni nga chu so ne shi tap ko mare rite inang teni ta nga chu ngubo chipo da nga chu teni mo teni ne natun tamche po ta chu shi go na ta chu shi tap ko mandu samba teni nga chu ta ha ko yore.
However, now in the 21st century, many people have come to the awareness that material things alone are not able to solve all of our problems. So whilst we do need the material things in order to support our survival, our physical existence, in actual fact, the awareness that material things are not everything is one that is newly percolating.
Tani ta nga so ngubo chipo tani tondak sama tapchi she matabna ta kandi gogorezina tani zambalang ga thola lo tongcha ni ta yarngon tani lo tongcha chig tani nani ta chulug mambo tani shongyore te so samche po tani mog jigni mog gonshot yabo chiya ta ni tani mog na tani samlo go tongde tani na ton tachu she tani ga tondak la shongbares.
So, in respective of what we might need beyond the material realms, we have traditions, religious traditions that go back thousands of years, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 of years. And the contributions of these religious traditions have been primarily to improving the ethical and moral conduct of humans and contributing to the development of their ideas and thought.
Tani nga so sem go thola ta nga so ngubo yargi mambo song tindipshi yo na darong nga so sem go thola ndocha yo sem go thola jerdang yo khongcho yo tani nga so sem go thola darong pena charik pe yargi sone nga so mo so shibsha mambo z ngama la ta na nga darong nga so ngama mashi ba mambo shi yo re rite yena darong nga so zawi thone darong nga so teni ta marik pa nga so la yo re jerdang yo re khongcho yo re nyomung ba yo re tani teso yoti dochak jedang tumuk re teso yo charti tani nyomomba jamba mambo yang tarung nga chola yo re.
So despite the fact that we now have an unprecedented material affluence, and despite the fact that we know more about so many things, know more than we ever have, nevertheless we still have the basic afflictions of attachment, desire, hatred, anger, and ignorance.
Tani natun teso thamche podeni ta thachupshi gona tani chuluk teso soso na la tani soso go tela natun thachupshi lik thapsir mambo shak yore soso la chuluk ganda kana kosola soso go tani kyachu tani kharangso go tani guba yore te yena ta nga chu namba ga tera nga chu shapati tani namba ga tani kyachu ze go nanda namba ga thapshi te shakres.
So in respect of dealing with these negative emotions or negative situations, different religious traditions have their own characteristics, they have their own ways of explaining things and resolving these situations. However, tonight we're going to be speaking primarily from the perspective of the Buddhist tradition.
Tini tera nga tsu ndala yongken chupa tsangma tini nga tsu tini shokchikni chupa resi. Shok nini tini nga tsu tsangma tirib nisha tsakchik baga nala kiye yongken tsuwa kerke yongken tini ga ma takdak re. Tini indi Teni nga so dirim nishi tsakchik pan di nangla nga rang chogo chuk kandi susu kandi nyamsilen go re. Teni nga so shusoko thola teni pamba kandi drip go re. Di thola teni nga so terang kapdab shigres.
So this evening, everybody in the audience has two things in common. They are Buddhist practitioners on the one hand, and on the other hand, they are people born in the 21st century. So it's for this reason that tonight we're going to be talking about how to go about practicing in the 21st century and how to go about bringing benefit to society.
Teni terang nga so dirim nishi tsakchik paga teni chupaz yinna ngarang chola tawa kanti go res teni ngarang cho shoba de kanti go res teni ngarang cho gomba de kanti go res tawa sina nga so teni jifting ga kham so chechok to sola nga cho ngunjin kanti she go so tasar te kanti she go res teni gomba sina teni nga cho te tasar te yakbo yo chani teni so nyamling kanti she go tela gomba se res teni nga cho teni tawa ta gomba ni po yo chana teni ngarang cho shoba de teni mujangla teni panthoya ta teni lego re teni tip shoba de kan le go re jine gari cho go re zo de kan go re jine teni nga so nge terang tondak sum go thone chamala khadda che gen.
So as Buddhist practitioners in the 21st century, tonight I'd like to speak in terms of three things: the view that contemporary practitioners need to develop, their meditation practice, and also their conduct. So the first view refers to our holding or developing correct ideas related to the world, as it were, to one's practice. Second, meditation, what kind of practice should we be engaging in? And then thirdly, as a result of our practice, how should we be benefiting society through our behavior? So it's in relation to these three things, view, practice, and conduct, that I will be speaking tonight.
Teni nga cho gum nyamnim shinkin zi yinna tangbo nga cho la tawa ya bo yo go re nga cho tawa manurwa mantarwa teni zi yo go re tawa te pena nga cho muk tawa re nga cho pena lamlang landro na tangbo muk teni lamka la ta go re teni nga cho ye landro go yo landro go yarandro go marandro go gandro go nga cho muk ta go re te tawa te nga cho muk tawa re.
So to start with, as Buddhist practitioners, it's important that we have or we develop a correct view. So when we talk of view, a view is something that we see with our eyes. It's like when we start off on a journey or start off on a path, it's necessary for us to ascertain where we're going so that we don't veer off to the left or right.
Teni tawa te yo sarna teni ta jini nga cho gomba yo go re gomba ti pena nga cho gomba gyamni rowa ta re nga cho pena mukta ne ta yelandro go yo landro go te ta charwi jini teni nga cho kamba gyamni yelandro go na yelandro yo landro go na yo landro teni ro go re ma to nga cho namya mukta ni ta ne o yelandro go yo landro go zi mukta ne teni kamba mangina kamba teni gkyo mapshina nga cho ro go sa te la lep tab go mare teni yindi teni tawa jila teni gomba to go res.
And after we've developed our view or fixed our view, it's necessary for us to engage in meditation, engage in practice. This can be likened to actually walking along the path that we have set for ourselves with our eyes. Just simply fixing our eyes on the road ahead of us, saying, oh, I need to go to the left, I need to go to the right, with actually not moving our legs won't get us very far. So the second stage is actual practice.
Teni tawa ta gomba ti ni yo charti teni nga chola te dang nyamdu teni nga cho shopa machi ka teni shawa leka kare lego to so la shopa zingre korang ka leka te la shopa zingre teni nga cho tawa te yakpo yo teni gomba te yakpo yo na teni shopa te yakpo yo ngres.
And then the third step or the third stage is our practice, our action. So having established our view, having practiced well, what should we go about doing? What sort of action should we undertake? If we have a solid foundation in our view and practice, then this will also result in good results for our conduct.
Pena nga so tawa ta gomba shopa se yati nga so 추냠len시나 추바 촐라양 요레스 추바 치부 마레 잠바 레카 잠바 참말라 데니 타와다 곰바다 쇼파티 참말라 요레스 나초 페나 샤와 약보즈레나야 타와 요레 곰바 요레 쇼파 요레 데니 샤와 득작직레나야 코랑가 타와 데니 코랑가 곰바 코랑가 쇼파 도스 참마 요레스.
It's not just in respect to religious practice that we can speak of having this threefold formula of a view, practice, and conduct or action. In fact, any kind of work or any kind of thing that we undertake also has a view, practice, and a conduct that underpin it. And not just positive actions, but also negative actions have their own view, practice, and conduct.
Teni tawada gombada shopa to shinchilokba da dugbu or dugjakti countries resina pena kama jam kanga mozina teni koranga tawati resina koranga sosoranga leka ya pomale sosoranga teni chungjap jeta ngarsur shiata teni moshi lobjong moshi ni teni moz jambaga o teni ngubo moz jambaga gormo o teso korang soni kama jamni teni hkje yangnam chokje o teni shi go resam teni shi na njigre samne teni samdeate teni korang kamazina korang tawares.
So if we're going to talk about the view, practice, and action of a thief, for example, the view would be the decision that one is not going to work, one's not going to do business, instead one's going to steal from other people, and this recognition or the acceptance of this view is the view of a thief, we could say.
Teni kemazina, teni kemajam kemazina, teni korang ke gombat kangresina, teni korang nyema takbar, teni korang ke semnala, tangi kandi chini kemajab go, kandi chini teni chok go, kandi chini kergo, kandi china teni gol, kandi kena golmo mopo kerja sare samni takbar nyema takbar sem kenala. Nyengker nyemmo inada sammo inada korang ke namjin sem kenala teni samlo mambo tangdegre te teni korang ke gombares kemazina korang la gombar yore gombares.
And the meditation of a thief would be thinking constantly, time and time, every day, how I'm going to go about thieving and pillaging from other people, how I'm going to go about taking their things. The constant thinking and contemplation of this would be the meditation of a thief.
Teni shopati kangresina teni kemayina teni korang drone teni ngusalakpa ga jamba ngupo leni korang karam lapchiganda o authenticity teni shopase gres.
And then the action or conduct of a thief would be the actual going and stealing of the property of others.
Teni ngacho tarta, teni tawa dugjak, gomba dugjak, shopa dugjak taso par pangne, taso par mebashi ne, teni ngacho tawa yakpo, teni gomba yakpo, shopa yakpo, tela ngacho lojong she go res.
So what we need to do is abandon or relinquish incorrect views, meditation and practice, and instead cultivate positive view, practice and conduct.
Teni ngacho tawa ga thoni shena parol to shimba trigze ngacho shetang namba ga jungo nala parol to shimba trigze ne teni sha ga yore. Di nani tawa ga wang to shina teni ngacho shirp te hale pa garchim bores.
So in respect of view, we often talk about the 6 perfections or the 6 parameters. And of these, the parameter of wisdom is extremely important in respect of view.
Shetang teni ngacho tawa shirp ziyate te gore, namina gore, rete ta ngacho tirib ni shichachik pandi nala, tele jang gore zi teni mchangma ga teni samlo mambo tonga yore, teni ngacho go chanik ga teni shivsha yargib teni halepa mambo droyore in ti kapse teni alam so namba ga teni shirp te halepa ga teni karchim bola jak gores.
So whilst the perfection of wisdom is extremely important in itself at any time, particularly now in the 21st century, a time when people really have a lot of thoughts, they do a lot of thinking, science is very advanced, etc. It's particularly important that we cultivate wisdom in this age.
Teni ti nangla nga tso shirab te karchimpo yendi, teni nga tso teni shugu nangla mungtat sini teni mungpa ka goni tapashiya, teni ta jimtsun me pa ka toni tapashiya jaga yichishir jaga wata te yakbo yomari, te par teni pang go re, nga tso chula yichishi go re, re te yichishi go na yichishi wa thomar yichi mapshi pi gongda, teni nga tso lo zhong mambo shi ne, o ta te rindu sandi, teni ta zo yichishi na te yakbo yores.
So given that wisdom is so important, it's very necessary that we have a belief that is not grounded in blind faith or blind acceptance. We should develop a belief or a faith that is grounded in study of the teachings and an acceptance that is based on our own examination of them.
Tani nga tso thomar terang nge shayati nangla nga tso tawa nga nangla ganti shaki yinzina nga tso nangba ga tani zhung, nangba ga chu, tani tsatang damba, tani yang takba, tani zigi na tani ganti zigla tani yang takba zegaresi, ganti zigla tani taga shirab zegaresi, tani ganti zigla yang takba mayimba zegare, ganti zigla mungtat zegare, tengi tani shaki yinzina, mungba ga tapa zina tani nga tso jimtsim mipi tapa tila zegare, tani shirab ka tapa zite, mungtat mayimba te shirab ka tapa ziyate, tani ganti zigla zegare, nge thomar te mutu shiga yinzi.
So what I'd first like to talk about tonight is the difference between faith that is grounded in wisdom and a blind faith, or a faith that is grounded in blind acceptance of the teaching. So it's this distinction that I'd like to first talk about this evening.
Tani nga tso nangba ga zhong, tani nangba ga zhongluk pecha, zhongluk tani satang damba tani ziyinna, tani kwarang la chaking sim chang go rezi, chaking sim de changna, tani nga tso zhong yang takba rezi, nga tso kileng rezi, tani chaking sim de ma changna, tani nga tso yang takba ma rezi ni, tani nga tso parishaka re, kileng ma re, yichishi ma rezi, chaking sim de changna nga tso yichishi choko rezi, chaking sim de ma changna, tani nga tso yichishi choko ma rezi.
So in terms of the Buddhist teachings, there are three bases or three criteria that need to be satisfied in order for the teaching to be considered reasonable or in accordance with reason. And if the teachings meet these criteria, then they can be accepted, but if they don't, then they can be discarded.
Teni nga tso chaking simze na chok, jimsung simze na chok, te yoda me te ha mako na yang nga tso tapashi de na, te jimsung me pi tapashi gare te la mungtat jawo resi. Teni nga tso tangpo nga tso samlo mangpo tang lo zhong she, takship she ne, chaking simpo to yopa ta yakpo shi ne, teni nga tso tapashi na, teni tapa ta yang tapa resi, te la teni shirip ka tapashi gare ma to, mongbi tapashi gare ma resi.
So if to start with we don't understand these three conditions or these three criterion, and our belief is not based in them, then this is a blind faith or a blind belief we have in the teachings. However, if we know about these criteria and our belief is founded in the study and examination and reflection of the teachings, then we can consider our faith to be based in reason, to be based in wisdom.
Teni chaking simpo te kangrezena, nga tso nangba ga zhong chigi na ti nangla koranga gari shekarezena, ko nangba ga zhong ti nangla shayo pi dondak te la, teni donchen mandrawa sim teni yena choko reze, nga tso nangba ga zhong chigi nangla koranga shapa te la, teni dondak mandrawa sim shakayo reze.
And there is a Buddhist scripture that speaks of these three kinds of reasoning, or speaks of there being three different kinds of reasoning.
Teni dondak tangbo te kangrezena, teni nga tso monsim zegrezi. Monsim zena teni pena nga tso mukun tanan tongji yoya, lakpa ga rakpa yoya, teni nawa ga nyan tapa, nga rang tso mu nawa na chi teso rakna rak tapa, ta tapa, teso samala teni taga monsim zegre. Teni nga tso namgin nga tso gon sowa ga nala yopa ga zigda, jada, yang pena nga tso teni nyamatang, dawatang, karmata, sakolata, ta tesu loji tesu la zegre. Tesu la nga tso monsim go yerer zegre.
The first realm that is spoken of is that of direct perception. So those things that are able to be directly be perceived with our senses, our sense faculties, our eyes, our ears, etc., external objects in the phenomenal world, the stars, the sun, the moon, etc. So the first is the realm of direct perception.
Tani te tondak tangbores. Tani tondak nipate yang nangba nangla shayo pitini ton di nangdun kashi sigla kare zigazana tani kokjir zigres. Kokjir zina ngaso mukatana tatab kumare. Nawaga nyanaya ngaso nyantab kumare. Yena ngaso rikpa goni jisok pagna jiwakshina tani rikpa toni tani jiwakshi tabyaga tani tondak terezi.
And the second realm is that of things that are hidden or concealed or obscured, things that we are not able to perceive with our eyes and things that are not able to be heard with our ears. However, phenomena belonging to this realm are able to be deduced through processes of inference.
Dawa yunguyo teni tarambola dawa mambo yunguyo na teni ngaso mukatana dawa yungwa te ngaso tongres yena ti gola dawa gola me yota me te ngaso mukatana tatab kumare jangrambore ngaso tatab kumares te tatab kumare ta yena ti kapsa ngaso o dawa yungundu ta dawa yungna ta me yore ezeni te ngaso teni takchushi gres ti kapsa dawa yungya te ngaso ngonsamre ngaso ko tata ngusum tongore May tetini to tangaso rikyo mari nikrikyo marta yenna ngaso par jiwakshini par rikpa jiwakshini o ta tawayona tani ta meyore ezini ngaso tindi ko takchushi grezi o tindi kortela tani kokjerze grezi koktekerwa ngaso ngusum mayamba kokjerze grezi.
So an example of this would be when we see smoke rising on the horizon. The smoke rising on the horizon is something that we see through direct perception, but we can't see the fire beneath it that's producing the smoke. However, based on the fact that there is smoke, we are able to, by using processes of inference, it's possible for us to deduce that, in fact, there is fire there. So this is what we talk about. This is what we mean when we talk about objects that are hidden or concealed.
Teni somebody gangrezina hajang kokjerze grezi ngaso chugunala shind kokjerze grezi shind kokjerzena ta ngaso mukatana yang tatab ko mare teni ngaso go jiwakshina rikpa go jiwakshina jiwakshi tab ko mare tatab ko mare yenna teni ta ngaso pena sangji go songrabo tendizla yichishi ne oda yinsarezi te yosarezi ne tendrigo samlo ta ya ma to ba ngaranso mukata matab teni ngaranso jiwakshina jiwakshi matab tendrigo teni ta korchig tendri korchig yore tendi dela shind kokjerze gres.
And then we talk about a third category of things that are extremely hidden or extremely concealed. These are things we're not able to know through direct perception. We're also not able to know through inference either. However, we accept them on the basis that they have been described by the Buddha.
Teni ta techo nala sangji go teni jung nala techo sumbu to yorezi sangji go jung nala ngonsum go teni ngupo techo yang mambo she yorezi teni jiwak she goya go teni ngupo yang mambo she yore teni khand ko jer go ngupo te yang perna le jimrin rawo ta sengap shin rawo techo korwa dere techo yang sangji go mambo sung yorezi sangji go jung nala teni mambo yorezi.
And within the Buddha's teachings there the Buddha gives teachings that address all three of these realms. So there are teachings that talk about things that are able to be directly perceived. There are teachings that require us to use processes of inference. And then there are teachings that also deal with things that are, to our minds, extremely concealed in nature, like the karmic law of cause and effect, previous and future lives, etc.
Ti sanji ge ti nala jong nala ti song yo na teni sanji ge song yo ti so ta non chur dug da mend data go gres.
we need to assess, we need to evaluate among the different teachings that the Buddha gave in the different sutras, are they accurate or not? Are they mistaken or not?
Tani nga tsu takshit shi ni ta nonchar mandu ziki tani nga tsu hako sona tani nga tsu yichi shi chokore si ta nonchar mandu nga tsu yichi shi nan chakandu yang takpa re si nga chokore karti nonchar yona nonchar yona tani ta te yang takpa mare nga tsu yichi shi uman te yang tak mare zi na chokore si.
And it's through investigating the teachings and being convinced as a result of our process of investigation that we accept the teachings. If we investigate them and we find them to be erroneous or not in accordance with reason, then we are justified in not accepting them.
Tani shapa jab sartila ta nga tsu kandi shapa jab go rezina tani nga tsu chu nala tani tsikchi gore ti nala shapa samji number takba ze shapa mandrawa sam jab ji ore shapa sam to number takba zina shapa sam to shapa jab chawi ji se ta ndrundu ta yang takba ren de zine tani re sona ta te jung de yang takba re karti nga tsu shapa jab yona tani shapa te jab yona ti to la kyuncha yo pa tani hako sona te shapa samji matak ba re ze gre ten jug mud te kyund ze gre te na tani nga tsu te la yichi shenan zhe ma re ze shapa sam de shapa tangbo ni pa samba jamni te yakbo rendu samji yichi sona yakbo rendu samba de nga tsu shi sona tani ta zo nga tsu khele na chokore nga tsu yichi na chokore karti shapa sambo ti na la njugme na tani nga tsu yichi ga ma re ze.
So in terms of how we go about investigating and examining the teachings to test them for their veracity, there are three kinds of reasoning that we can use, and these three different stages of reasoning. And it's by subjecting the teachings to these three different kinds of investigation that we can establish the veracity of the teachings, and on this basis put our belief in them. If we subject the teachings to one of these investigations and the teachings fail to pass the test, then we're justified in rejecting the teaching.
Tani ta nga tsu sanje ge songba te la tani shapa samze ate tangbo kangre zena pena sanje ge tani songga na la nga tsu ngonsum ge muk rik thapa tindi ge tani lorji zu sha yo na pena nga tsu sanje ge songga na la khatar ndi tani khatok kharang karbu yen zeni tindi ta nga tsu muk ta na karbu re zindo tani karte sanje ge songga na la ndo marbu yen zeni tindi sha sha yo na tani nga tsu muk shikta na te marbu mari karbu re ndo se tindi yinti tunjug mandu te nga tsu khelen ga man zena chokore.
So the first process or mode of investigation is by testing whether or not the teachings accord with our direct perception. So if the Buddha was to have said that this kada on the table is actually red in color, well, looking at it with our eyes, we can see that it is white. So on that basis, we would be justified in rejecting this statement.
Tani pena sanje songo na la khatar di khatokte tini karbo re zini tindi sha ja yona oda nga so karbo ore mare nga so muk shitana o karbo rendu si oda reyona oda rendu sanje ga somba te rendu zini te nga so ichina te chokores te tondok tambores.
However, if the Buddha was to say that this kada is in actual fact white, then we can look at it with our own eyes and seeing that it is white, accept this statement, and for this reason believe it, place our faith in it.
Tani karte nga so muk tinim thongya tindi zka thola sanje ga somba te dang tani nga so muk thongya tini ngarwa resona tani ti kap nga so sanje ga song yinna yang tani nga so khelen ga mare si ti kap so te sanje ga tindi song du te sanje ga song du rite yinna sanje ga tini khorang ga tani thugla sanje ga tini samsar jamba zre khorang ga guba jamba z ga goni tindi chini somba re rema tokpa tong ga tokla tindi mare ze nga so yinda ma da nga so usuk jabni khatong di 카토티 인다마다 마르보인 거래 데 간디레즈나티 상기가 마르보레진도와 데 바르보레 거레지텐디 으츠갑기요 말이스.
So if there is an inconsistency or a contradiction between what the Buddha sees or what the Buddha says and what we perceive through our own direct observation, then we are justified in rejecting the way that the Buddha has described it. If the Buddha says that the kada is a different color, then we can we appreciate that there must have been another reason why the Buddha described it as that. There's no reason for us to force ourselves to or brainwash ourselves to accept a description of something that doesn't accord with our direct perception just because the Buddha said it.
Tenite tondak tambok siapa tangbori. Teni siapa nibati kang rezina sanji ge songya pe na nga so muk musun thongtapa tendi mayin na ripa ga sianna o tendi jumjo ya tendi yemba tendi yore o techo korwa to o teni nga chu karti sanji ge soni jihwa ka go ne teni par jisa pa ne ripa go ne sha go ya tendi ze ka sanji ge pe na tendi yen zeni sha yona teni nga chu go ripa ga teni pa yona tendi njiyona o ta nga chu te re tenga so khelem she ge yen zeni tendi khelem she na chokore karti njig mena o sanji ge tendi song yona ya o tenga so khelem ga mare sanji ge song do uze rete yena sanji ge tendi song ba de la korang la guba jamba yore ngubo ne sert tendi mare zeni aso khelem ga mare ma to ba o nga chu yinda ma sanji ge tendi song do wa te yin go re zeni tendi lab ga mare.
So that is the first mode of investigation. The second is one that relies on inference. So this is not necessarily using our direct perception. It is following a process of inference to establish the truth of a particular object or phenomenon. And if through engaging in a process of deduction, we conclude that what the Buddha said is accurate, we can accept it. However, if our process of inference produces a result which is not in accordance with what the Buddha said, then we are justified in dismissing it. It's not necessary that we simply accept it again just because the Buddha said it was the way it was.
Shinda kokirziate halipa nga su shiguna shi matapa nga su mukun thongona yang thong thapko mare tene nga su jihwa ka ripa ga shat gona yang shat thapko mare tendi ga halipa ga tene kokir tendi je di korto nga su kandi she go re zena oda sanji khorang ga tendi song yo na tene sanji ga tendi song yo pa te la tinni di kapsa tene ta ga nga su yichi 그래 옛날 때 가서 yichi 그 염증 가르지나 때 가서 가서 산지 코랑 같은 데 손바티라 코랑 낭라 때 가르와 은득문득 따고 그러지 근데 코랑 낭라 가르와 메나 어다 가서 때 마토 잠바가 탑시요 말에 어다 때 가랑 저거 따나 르그 말에 가랑 저거 때니 지화가 고네양 시그 말에 때 산지 같은 데 손득 때 연사래 지니 가서 때 켈림시고 그러지.
And the third mode of investigation is one that essentially applies to situations where things are extremely concealed. So it's in cases of situations or phenomena that are not able to be understood through direct perception, they're not able to be understood through inference. So on this basis, we have to accept what the Buddha said. However, in doing this, we need to look at the entirety of the Buddha's teachings, and if there is no contradiction between the Buddha's teachings in relation to a particular subject, then we can accept what he has said about it, given that we are in a situation of not being able to know about it ourselves through direct perception or inference.
Tani nga tsu yang tiri mungtar jawa ri jawa ma rewe zina nga tsu gimtsin chiching me paa kathone o sanji ka sondu tani nga rang yeche ka yin zina tani se shang na tani nga tsu ta yang nga tsu tari gongna shapan jawa ri ne tani chi gimtsin chiching me pi thone yeche she ka yawa ma rewe zina tani ma re zi sanji ka tani son na nga tsu yeche she chokka re zi wa tila yang nga tsu gimtsin sha ki yo re zi.
It might seem in terms of this third mode of investigation, that simply believing something because the Buddha said it sounds like, in fact, believing in something blindly, which we criticized, in fact, earlier. However, in saying that we should believe in something because the Buddha described it as being the way it was, we have reasons for why we should believe the Buddha.
상기 세야텔라 코랑라 할리바가더니 시럽 침보 더니 할리바가더니 참 돈보거더니 더니 이시제나 상기가 시럽든지 요와서 가서 상기가 송텔라 때나 지학 가서 시탑 그래서 상기때 가서 뭐 잠바든 자면도 코랑가 송바텔라 따나 코랑랑군이 장에 할리바가더니 이시 시럽 할리바감 돈보 더니스 너우지기 때 가서 지학시나 시탑 그래서
It is, however, possible for us to infer, to deduce for ourselves that the Buddha, in fact, was in possession of an extremely high level of wisdom, an extremely high level of awareness, different from an ordinary person. This is possible for us to establish through processes of inference.
Tini chiporwa kanga nangla, tani nga tsu muka mamtong waga tini chokchak, tini tongchak chokchak mambo yuwa, tini nga mani fsha yuwa resi. Tini nga tsu tini muka shaga muka tana hakuwa mare, jihaka gone yang tini hat ko tabka mare, yena nga sangji korang la tini goya ishi, sherab tini zi yuwa pati nga tsu sangji song te la tana tini hako tabka resi.
So this is like saying that even if we have a bowl of water and just looking at it with our naked eye, we are not able to see all of the small life forms that exist within it. We're not able to necessarily know about these life forms through processes of inference either. However, the existence of these life forms being there is something that the Buddha, through his extremely high level of knowledge, is able to know.
Teni tenja waza ka teni sanjega yang pena nga tso teni mochi ka teni lipo ka nangla teni shtenwa mbo chongchong ka teni rig halipa mambo teni yowa teni ka teni ngamani song yore teso mangyang yore si ti shtenwa teso mangyang yore teni jartong chumpa mambo ka teni nga tso loa ka nangla kante yo nyang ka nangla kante yo gima ka nangla kante yo teni mambo to teni koso mangyang chiri shini shajag yore si ngamani teni song yore te nga tso ti kapsa teni nga tso teni ta storntong ekis kwang storntong te yo marezi te mena teni ta nga tso sarje ga teni jamba khorang la teni shia ga teni ta yishis yo ate nga tso ha ko res.
So, for example, the existence of all different kinds of bacteria in the body, all kinds of microscopic germs, etc. The existence of these things was something that the Buddha described, and even gave names for the different kinds of bacteria, etc., that live in the lungs, the heart, and in different organs, etc. At that time, there was no X-ray or other means for actually seeing or examining these things. The Buddha established their existence through his sublime wisdom.
Teni ten jawaza ka tarong teli jang karchewa teni pena nga tso san yega nga tso teni drshchigi na pena nga tso choksin den rapo yena teni nda korang teni drchen tang teni deyang chongchong ka yongwa teso nga tso tarta charik pa ga teni mulo gyachak mambo ga rang la gormo tongshir mambo tangne teni jimjik jini korang sagom thonga te teni sarjega zungo nala nga ni shaja yorizi teni te di kap sarjega teni song tapi gimtsen te teni sarjega korang la teni ga teni tang zapo ga teni shia ga teni herbs korang la yore te ma to di kap sa chanda wada tsu yo mares.
So the fact that a table that we see before us is in fact comprised of and infinite number of atoms, etc., is something that we only know now after having spent millions of dollars on scientific research, etc. However, this was something that the Buddha described many 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. The fact that the Buddha was able to know this in an age where there were no instruments to directly perceive it shows us that his wisdom was of a extremely advanced and extraordinary nature.
Tindi tendi tini ngaranso o da sanji korangla tindi ga tini thongya ga yishin do tendi tini koranga tini ngaranso te reze gona ze shigmandu mari ze gona ze shigmandu ta yena sanji ga tindi sona da koranga tindi korangla tindi shia ga tini rupa chabarwa shirp tindi zindu o da ngaranso tishina kelena ndiksare zini tini ngaso tindi yichi gres.
So it's for this reason, in recognition of the extraordinary wisdom of the Buddha, that we are able to accept the way he describes things to be in situations where we are not able to know whether in fact they are the way they are, or we're not able to establish whether it is or isn't the case. It's given the wisdom of the Buddha that we are justified in believing what he said.
Tani pena ngaso te ganti dawarizna pena charik ba so na tani koranga tani ngukhamrik ba ga nala tani dar chamu chongchong gar namjak mambo su khocho jimjik mambo shini shake yorese tani te ngaso chama ga tela yichi ge yorese ngaso chama o charik go ni tani shan du zina te ngaso chama yichi ge yorese 인내의 이치시 기든 ngaranso o charik ba ga shapareze ngaso yichi ge ma to ba ngaranso soso ngaso mukta nyungyo mare teni ngaso dir chongchong tenri perna chadir baze anda ta lodrö ze anda ta so sama ngaso mukta nyungyo mare ngaso name rignyungyo mare yena ngaso charik ba tenri reze o ta injireze ngaso yichi je yo reze chigre ni re teni ta ngaso jiwa go ne rigpa go ne samlo ta ngaso choksin de o teni dir charap ta lodrö ta teni chig teni ta sadr ta so rezini tini ze gona nga chu jiwa go ne ripa go ne sha go na ti sha thap ko mare ze thap ko mare nga so mo re re example mo re so rang yi chi shi ne rang jimjik shi ne tani yi chi shi ga mare ze ta nga so example na char pa mo ka tak ja chi ni sum je nga tini ze ko cho go jimjik shi ne on tini re ndo ze tani nga so jamba mo tongshir donchi tamba o te re ze ne te ken te yi chi shi ga re te per na tin ra bore ze.
So this kind of belief based on the fact that the Buddha described it as so is similar to the way that we accept many findings of physicists today about the nature of the world, physical objects, the way they're comprised of numerous atoms and electrons and molecules, etc. These are not things that each one of us has independently observed with our own eyes or has examined using the relevant instruments. Indeed, most of us haven't. Our belief in the existence of these elements of matter is based on the fact that scientists in fact tell us that this is the way things are. Similarly, not all of us have engaged in a process of inference to establish the existence of these elements. Indeed, it would be very difficult, if not impossible, for everybody to independently do the necessary research and arrive at that conclusion. So in fact, the number of people who did the research and arrived at the conclusions we accept are very, very small, and yet nevertheless we accept their conclusions. And this is similar to the way that we are able to accept the teachings of the Buddha or the statements of the Buddha based on the fact of his superior wisdom.
Teni tarong teli gongla pe na zogba chimbo ra oda tso gona la nyamling ga tola ti mambo halipa tang zammo nga chu mo jamba z ge mo pharwa z ge nga chu pe na char pa ye na chani ru pa ye na semkhum ru pa ye na mo chik yang teni chawani shi mamnyong wa teni ga halipa tang zammo teni mambo pe na zogba chimbo ra shakja chimbo ta tso gona la sung yo re teni songyo ba teso tamje po teni soso nyamnyung go ne gom gyabne teni shena teni sangje ga songba chikpo tsa mayam bar soso nyamnyung go ne o sangje ga songba ta rendu samba te soso nyamnyung go ya o teni mambo teni halepa ga tangza mo mambo songyo re toso la ta na o sangji zengkente halepa ga teni chi herb chimbo yongkam halepa ga teni ta chi khorang la teni ngumkin Khenpo teni gyachin boyong kan teni rendu sambate tenga sosola ichi topki yores.
Another reason for us feeling justified in placing our faith in the way the Buddha described things to be is the fact that many of the truths that he described have been corroborated or confirmed by great practitioners of the Tsultrim teachings and the Mahamudra teachings. They have gained insights into things that scientists and philosophers and psychologists have not even begun to understand or describe. So the fact that through their experiential realization corroborate and confirm what the Buddha said, this is another reason we should feel justified in believing the Buddha's account of things.
Teni tenri yendi ta nga so sangje ge tenri gyachenpo tang teni nga so shirtang la nga so shigo na tsawane shi mathapa tenri mambo sangje khorang ge shine khorang ge songne teni lo tongchak ni ta nga bya go na teni yege ge thola tini bjakpa te nga so ta mambo ta ji yorese tenri yendi te la ta na oda nga so sangje te pe teni ta hachang teni Khenpo gyachenpo yong ken teni re ndu sambate nga so teni yechi te Gimsun个托呢，我做一起个嘛，多把人不马来的，我做 Gimsun 个托呢，我上几天我呢长呢，等这个等你10家亲不用跟等就是3把的，我做一起 top 就要嘞。
So it's for this, we do have reasons, therefore, for believing in the exceptional and extraordinary wisdom of the Buddha. It's necessary that we, now reading the teachings of the Buddha 2,500 years afterwards, accept them on the basis of reasons. And we certainly have reasons for believing in the extraordinary wisdom of the Buddha's account.
다 던지 인디 상제가 되니 송고나라 던지 할리바가 되니 땅사보다 고고나 똑가와다 던지 mambo 송고와데 ngachu tarta tayona teni sanje ga songwa te teni muso chanag ya jindro chawine ka mambo za ko yoro teni uni rendu samba teni tarta ngachu mambo za ko ndo te indi o sanje ga teni ta songgo nala khashi z teni ngachu njungdu ze gona ngachu ko mundu ze gona ngachu ko mundu ta yennayang sanje ga tarnga teni mambo songwa te so sama teni yang tak ba teni rendu te yenna te ngachu khashi ngachu teni njug mandu ze shi ga mundu te yenna So
the fact that the Buddha described things in the scriptures that may on the surface appear extremely profound, difficult to understand, etc., the fact that they have been in many situations confirmed or corroborated by findings of modern science is a reason for us to have conviction in the accuracy of the Buddha's account of things. So there may be situations where we where we accept certain teachings, and others we might feel are perhaps less convincing. However, given overall the exceptional and extraordinary wisdom of the Buddha, we should be justified in believing his accounts.
Teni tinti yendi teni nga zo yang sanje ge songgo na la ta yong na yang kashi se teni pe nga zo ngonsum teni nga zo thongya de ta mamthan ba tinti yang yores sanje ge songgo na la sanje ge songgo pa ti so na la nga zo pe na muk ta na nga zo teni thongya de ta ni ka ngarwa yang kan tinti yang yores.
Among the Buddhist scriptures, among the Buddhist teachings, the things that the Buddha said, there are situations that don't accord with what we can directly perceive with our own eyes.
Teni nga cho namba sanje pa ga teni khorang ka sadun de ka rezina savi sadun de ka rezina garti rigba tang montham ba tang teni ka ti nga cho monsam da montham ba tang teni sin na Teni sarjiga sung yona yang nga chu kheleng ke mare o sarjiga sung yona tenri marez ni zegres asik jab ga marez.
However, what the Buddha said was that if there is something that doesn't accord with our direct perception, it also doesn't accord with processes of reasoning, then even though this was attributed to the Buddha, this particular teaching, we don't need to accept it. We shouldn't force ourselves to accept it.
Teni te kandis rezna tana sarje ga sungo nala nga chu mukta nga chu monsum dang garwa tinri yores yona te sarje khona ga mamkhim pare we khona ga masiwa rezna te maris sarje ga masiwa mare di kapsa teni nga chu nangba ga teni jangdon je ya chita ngidon je ya tinri ga tonda ga ni ga thone yap che ga res jangdon je ya tang ngidon je ya ga reshi japsa ni yores.
However, if there is a situation where something in the sutras doesn't accord with our direct perception, we shouldn't therefore think that this was because the Buddha lacked the necessary knowledge or was mistaken. In respect of these contradictions or inconsistencies, we talk about the two different kinds of meaning, or the two levels of meaning, the provisional meaning and the definitive or ultimate meaning.
Tini ngidon zeyati kanti zila ngunzang ko warzina ngidon zeyati tini khorang ka tong ko thola kanti yenna te pha thakar jamu shini tini yang tak bigo ni pharsha jawatela tini ngidon zegrese.
When we talk about the ultimate meaning or the definitive meaning, we mean the meaning that is a straight, direct, unobscured description of the way things are.
Tini jangdon zeyati kanrezena Don ngomate te mare sanji khorang tinti sung yore ta dong thola tinti mare tinti mare ta yenna teni thakar tini chama par yakpo shavjagna di kap ko mo cho tini khorang cho ko yakpo len thap ko mare khorang cho tini o sanji ko song ji tin juk mandik samne tinti sam ro gore tinti sam ro na tini sarje go mo te cho tini khorang cho ko samlo tam thamba go ni kaja ju shadni kale yar tini nil gutun demba din thik kale khorang la tini yar The
provisional meaning refers to teachings that are not ultimate or definitive in nature. Essentially, they were teachings made in a certain way, given taking into account the needs or the situation of the listeners at the time. So the provisional teachings were given in the way they were for the reason that if things had been imparted in a more direct and ultimate way, then people would have not been able to understand them in the correct way. So provisional meanings were made in accordance with the situation of the listeners so that they would gradually, in accordance with reasoning, be able to progress in their understanding.
Tatendri indi ngacho ndosr dana kandi go rezena dirib nish chachik panti nala deni ngaran cho charik ziate pe halipa garchimbo mchama ngaso zambalong ga no shar no ganglayo na mchama ga charik zina halipa garchimbo tindi yangtak ba tindi zre tindi ga yangtak ba zwi tindi ga dirkab zresi.
So right now in the 21st century, we are in an era where science is regarded as with extreme legitimacy. It's regarded as an extremely valid discourse by many people.
Teni charig zena teni khorang teni yangtak ba rewe zena te marizi yangtak ba yimba yang yore yangtak ba maimba yang mo khorang nang la yang norwa yang mambo yore. Tani charig zeyate tini khorang ngachun zambolang la yongkheng ge shipsha chama khorang ha kongkhen tini zerjina te marezi charig nala mako charig chawani ha mako ya tini go tongda ga mambo yores. Charig zeyate tini te khorang la norwa mambo yores khorang ko shirtang ga charig zeyate tini norwa chawani menkhen tini marezi norwa mambo khorang nala nonthar yang mambo yores. Tani charig zeyate ngacho tini shivsha chama shinkhen zerezena deyang marezi korang ka masiwa yang mambo yores.
So science is not something that is without errors. In fact, there are many errors within different areas of science. Science at the same time is not a discipline that knows everything. There are many fields of knowledge that science doesn't have an understanding of.
옛날 그런 거 돈딱 망보스 거 돌아 그런 거 뱀바레스. 이 김선지 되는 아주 정말 콜라 이치치 그래서.
However, it's because science, in fact, is or has established the truth in relation to many things, or is tells us, produces true findings in respect of many areas. This is the basis on which we accept the validity of science.
든지 인디티니 가서 디름니시 짝씩 빠거든이 낭추제라디 드니 차르 그 낭니 그런 거 마시와다 그런 거 노르스와 때다 가서 남바가 따와니 가라요나 대교요 말에 레디 차르 그거 토니샤피 돈 뭐마 양딱 바이엠바트 소다 드니 가서 망거와즈 남바상기 빠거든이 따와데 인 고르 된 가량 가르가 말이스
지한테 손에 조금
당아서 남바 산기 빠거든이 따와제야티 간디즈레제나 차르크나라 노라요레 차르크 마시 빠요레 뜻소단 가르나 경고 말이지 가르나 난거요 말에 가려 난거 원정 차르크나라 차르크 양딱 빠요레 대당 가르나 듣고 말이지 대 간에 머득비 짐승 가르제 대 원섬 레지 원섬당 망가와서 고레지 가죠.
So in the 21st century, conflicts between Buddhism or between Buddhism and those aspects of science that are mistaken, or those areas that science doesn't have an understanding in respect of, if there are conflicts in these areas, it's not a big deal, it's not problematic. The problematic conflicts are between Buddhism or the Buddhist tradition and areas in which science has established knowledge that we regard as true. The reason is because these things are true. The scientific findings have established the truth. So it's in respect of conflicts between these things and the Buddhist tradition that need to be resolved.
드니 가서 사르다 망거와서 고고레제야티 강레제나 가서 따뜻한 잠볼은 거 참마가 차르글람 예치 망보체게 요래 디 김선지 가서 콜라 망거와서 고고레 뜻에 어레제 데 마레제 데 강레제다 차르그 나라 코랑 양딱바 인컨 뜻소 참마 데 코랑 거 원섬레제 가서 원섬 거르 빠제야 데 데레제 드니 원섬다 망거와티 네 다리 코나 샤파 스미 오바티나니 치그레제 데 가서 남바가 짜둔레제 가서 짜비 짜둔데 드니 원섬다 망거와서 고나 드니 차르다 망거와서 고그레스.
So the reason that we need to resolve these contradiction between scientific findings of truth and the Buddhist tradition is not because everybody regards science as an extremely authoritative discourse. It's because these findings are based in fact, they are based in truth. And as we said earlier tonight, establishing things on the basis of direct perception, on the basis of truth, is in fact a cornerstone of the Buddhist tradition. So it's very important that we address inconsistencies or contradictions between things that science has proved as true and the Buddhist tradition.
드니 가서 마음 바나 베나 차르 야르기스 송네 로 동작 망보 로 추적 망보 나라 차르 야르기스 드니 코랑가 할리 바가드니 지 든지 더 자침보 든지 카르테티 사르크 시와 든지 요나양 띵 아주 남바 코당 가란도 마레지 문두비 김선데 가레지나 데 코랑가 문이 타네 양딱 바고니 시바있나 데도 소상바 차르크 샤바츠 원섬 딱딱거리 연고 그래지 원섬 딱딱거리 드니 아주 원섬 사지가 송거나라 원섬다 망가르와치고 손에 든지 송요레 든지 인디 드니 가란도 마레 대당 가라 만조와티 가서 디름니시 자식 바가나라 가서 남바거든요 종테레 마토바 잠바출라 베테즈 까보요 카보요레 데나 땡아서 자동 스치그레스.
So in the future, if science continues to flourish, it continues to advance to continued heights, this won't cause a problem for Buddhism. This won't constitute a problem from the Buddhist tradition, from the point of view that if what science is investigating is the truth, it's grounded in empirical fact, then this is in absolute accordance with the Buddhist tradition. The Buddha was emphatic that, in fact, the things that do not accord with reality shouldn't be accepted. So it's for this reason that the Buddhist tradition won't have a problem with the continued progress or development of scientific research.
The ina ngaso perna ngaso namba nala teni simkum go thola halipa go tangzabu mambo sheori mog simkum teni mog checho ko thola ya teni halipa go teni tangzabu mambo sheori te maim ba shor kon jikting go kham go thola na teni namba halipa go tangzabu mambo shand doso sama teni char ko sawani ha go yo mare se khorang go yo mare maum bana teni yarjin rovini kamna teni chishina hako reze ina tata chawani hako yo mare teni te charka ha mago wa te so teni ta ngarang so namba ga te tawa nga so thmo ma bare te so chi charka ta tang go mare kharang so hako na chokore ha mago na chokore nga so te tang go mare.
However, the Buddhist tradition has great insights and profound knowledge of the human mind, human psychology, the human consciousness, and also many great and profound insights into the material world, the worldly affairs as well. And these are insights that science, in fact, doesn't know much about. It hasn't researched much. It's possible in the future that scientific investigation will confirm or corroborate these things, but this, in fact, doesn't make a difference to us. Whether or not science confirms these things or is interested in these things isn't really the issue. This is not something that we should be concerned with legitimizing ourselves through.
Teni nga so mi semkum go teni tang zapo go thoni mi semkum la ndeshi jawa ta teni tang zapo go thoni mi teni chechok la teni ta ndeshi jawa ta teni mi teni ta sem go na la yo pi nyomu ba ta teni dumar ta nyokta te so thamji pomar mepa shia te so la ndeshi jap chit teni nga so namba chi po go teni te chachunda pore ma to pa jamba changrik ta te so la chi ka ke yo mare te yo maina te nangka jo ma khorang cho mena nga chu telam thumboshi go mare te ngarang cho chachuri te ngarang cho ndeshi jap go gores.
So the Buddhist tradition is unique in its particularly nuanced and profound explanation of the human mind, the human consciousness, the nature of human afflictions and negative emotions, etc. And this is the unique character or the unique characteristics of the Buddhist tradition of Buddhism. And whether or not these are things that science is interested in or science proves is not something we need to be overly concerned with.
That tenji indi nga chon jambol na yong khen ga teni nangba sangi ba sangma ga teni lojung shiate pe karchim bores nangchula lojung ya bo shiate pe karchim bores.
So it's given this this realm of knowledge that Buddhism has such insights into that make the Buddhist tradition as important as it is and something very much worthy of the study by many people in the world.
Teni nga chon jambol na yong khen ga teni nangba ga na la lojung shin khen haliba nyung res. Lojung shin khen nyung re. Yeah.
However, in the world today, the number of people who are in fact studying the Buddhist teachings is relatively small.
Teni nga cho zambol na yong kan namba sang ji ba mambo ma hale ba mambo z teni nga cho gewa dribze ate kan rizre nga cho domba don ke te so she ke yores.
Many people, in respect of how to go about doing meritorious work or how to accumulate merit, think that the way to do this is by chanting mantras, reciting prayers.
Teni nga so lakang chimbo jawe anda ta teni shorten chimbo le anda ta teni harka hale pa zigbo jawe anda tsu nga so hale pa tondak chimbo la njoko yores.
Many people regard building and constructing stupas and shrines and Buddhist statues as extremely important. They place their priorities on these things.
Teni tarung jang tele dikchak te kangrezina teni ngachu mamboz ga ngachu pe na dombando nanda harkein le nanda gomba jam nanda tso sangma chungli jan shangye hwazina chungli jang ga teni nambala gerni teni tito da gonmu mambo chaya da teni ga tapshi mambo shege yores.
And even worse than this, many people these days are in fact using the building of shrines and Buddhist statues, churtens, etc. as opportunities to make money. They are commodifying these things.
Tani pe na ngacho boba la sam lo tang pa na ngacho boba ga lama cho wang ja karna tani wang par karna tani tinani gormo mambo le ya tani gonjun chong tani tinani gormo mambo ra ya thabshi she an ra hota yang chokba mambo chokni tani chokba mambo chokni ya tinani tani ta gormo mambo le ya tani ga thabshi ngacho che wang kar che tani chu te ma im ba tani domba mambo do ya tso la tani gormo mambo ru ya tani ga le kalin kan pe mambo res.
And even in Tibet, there are many lamas who are using the giving empowerments and selling statues, holding Dharma events, Dharma assemblies as opportunities to make money.
Teni ngazo boba ga teni mangchok ra wo yinda na teni chu tapa pe yakbo yores re te chu shig mare se tapa pe yakbo yore te chu shig mare chama manen don ge da teni shang chare da teni ma to ba chi shig mare.
And in terms of the Tibetan community inside Tibet, everyone has very strong faith, but they don't understand the reasons for their faith. Their faith is not underscored by reasoning.
Teni te matsa nga so traba cho na la na traba cho mo shi so na domban do ya da teni mo jamba cho la domban do ya da domban do nya ta yang su su rang gon cho wa to la mo la domban do ni ti na ne la cha le ya da teni ma to ba nguni ta ne teni sa ji ge cho la lo jong yak bo che ya da gom yak bo jam kun ti nyu nyu ma to yo ma re ji traba na la a zo bo ba ga traba na la.
And even among monks in Tibet, the number of people who are actually sincerely studying the Buddhist teachings and practicing the Buddhist teachings is relatively few. The majority of people, majority of monks essentially spend most of their time doing prayers and recitations and other ritual services for people in order to support their livelihood.
Tani yami tini chuba so yenana tani to yang mambo zu ko so tani ju gomba nang la do ni tani pu do ya tani gomba nang la do ni pu do ya ta tani halam chobam par ya ta tani yar halam chobam par ne tani ngarang ga ju ngarang so so la che rang ya ta nan me ya ta tani shawa lam do yo ya tani ga ton dak la tani hala pun cho ya ta hala shang sa ya tani ga so she ko yore si yami chuba so.
And in respect of Chinese followers of Buddhism, many people really spend most of their time going to temples, making incense offerings, supplicating the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for good luck and prosperity and things like this.
Tani yami chupa na pena nga so Taiwan ra don so na la ina tani ta lakang chimpo jawa ta hal lepa ga tani lo la mshwa ra wo tani lakang chimpo jawa ra ta tanim chotin chimpo ke chimpo le ya tso la lama so tso to la shig jab ge yoris.
And in Taiwan, practitioners and lamas really spend most of their energies on building vast and colossal temples and Dharma structures.
Tani nga so sama tani shini de yore te ma so ba sanji uni tang ne sanji ga kan song de sanji ga chin ti gomba kan ri re ne lo jong shin ken de tani nyu nyu ma to yo ma re si nyu nyu se nga so po ba na la yore yami na la yore te ma to ba nyu nyu yore ma to ba ma che shu ti te le shi ka ma du se.
So the majority of Buddhist followers are essentially occupied by doing these things. The number of people, whether it be among Tibetans or among Chinese, who are sincerely studying and practicing the Dharma is very small.
Tani ta nga so boban ra yin na tani kwarang ga chu yak boyin kom chok sum yak boyin ze gre ya yak boyin bi jim sing kan ri ta kyorang ga si lab da ze na te ko ma re ze ta nga ran so lama ga yak bo re ze ga ze ti din da ma to pa jan shi ga ma re ze.
And Tibetans have great faith, very strong faith in the three jewels in the Dharma. However, if you ask them the reason for why the Dharma is so good, the Dharma is sublime, no one's able to tell you an actual concrete reason. They say things, oh, my Lama is very great, and things like this. They're not able to state reasons for their strong faith.
Tani yaminangla taritere kosogo tani chu sorandawada tani pudoyandada gombaganalantoni chu tani lekaleyanda tani zmatokba tani sarjega song ngomati kangrengan tani yang shinken yang yamin tani mamambore rete tinala chu ngomaga tani taga tola samlo tanga pe nyonyo res.
And in respect of Chinese Buddhists, with everyone making their incense offerings, supplicating the Buddha, or many people these days doing volunteer work inside temples, etc., still the number of people who really know the content of the Buddha's teachings is not great at all.
Tani yami nesar tang popa nesar nge hale basaru go grezi tani yoranso nopshok pasa kandik shego nge hago marezi ta parche kyoso tijis lobsona pedik borezi.
So the situation of Tibetans and the situations of Chinese is something that I'm very clear about. I'm not so clear about the situation of Westerners here in the West. However, if you follow in the footsteps of the Tibetans and Chinese, it will be a very terrible situation indeed.
Yeah. Tini te nga so tirumni shi sachi ba chu jolukte marese.
What I've just described is not the way that we should go about practicing the Dharma in the 21st century.
Teni tirimni shi tsachik pa ga nga chu teni chu dblukte so so. Ti tirimni shi tsachik pa manna yang teni go gore ta tari dele kyang nga chu shirp go gore si chama ga shirp ko thoni yinda mayin yang ta ba ha ko ni muksaru shi ni lamla ta ni tani ko ba jam ni ro go gore ma to ma nga chu muksaru mayin ba muk teni chi chi mar pa teni shi na teni ro na lamkha.
So it's now even more than we've ever needed it in the past that we need to cultivate wisdom. It's very important that we, through our own direct perception, through our own process of reasoning, determine whether things are true or not, whether they are, whether we believe them or not. It's important that we are able to see with our own eyes and determine with our own eyes the path in front of us, so that we don't drop off into some undesirable place on the side.
Tani nga chogo da tirimni shi sachi bagana la charg hali ba yar jin ro yore tani musoso go tani muchogo mo ger ke tani rigni ge chisu pe yar gompen ro yore tani ti kabs tani nga ran so tani ta nangba ge chu lo jong she ge yin zen ken ge mo de so go tani chi chi lo jong ma shi chi ha ma ko sa ji ge song ka ri ha ma ko jin chi jin ji ji ma ha ma ko ni ten ru shi ni de de na tani sarjiga sonte tini ngoni traditional montad marize tini te montad marite halipa tini sherb dang dam bita patini rite rede ngaran su samaga tini ta nambala lojong shinken samaga jijing mashi tini resona tini sarjiga soya montad katabla longro res.
So even though the Buddha urged us not to have a blind faith in his teachings, if in the 21st century, despite our material progress, despite our high levels of educational attainment, we simply put faith in the Buddha's teachings blindly, then essentially we will be doing what the Buddha urged us not to do.
Tindi yendi tini ngaso ta jami yen nandra, ngaso boba yen nandra, tini nupshoko tini mo yen nandra, tini ngaso tusum gomsum zene. Lojong shia de pekar chin boreze ngaso thomar tini ta ta lojong she gore ma to ba ngaso thomar jiji hamago koni chin jiji mashi wikapsen de tini ngaso manan dong ya dang shang chare ya dang tani ji tani choban bar ya da tini ta ta na la namsa ta na tani de shang shang char na de su don de yo mareze ga mare ta na ti chu ngoma mareze chu ngoma de tin de mareze.
So, in the contemporary era, regardless of whether it's Tibetans or Chinese or Westerners, the threefold path of listening, reflecting, and meditating is extremely important. So the first stage, studying the Buddhist teachings, is very important. simply, doing prostrations and recitations, making offerings without having an understanding of the Buddhist teachings, while it's perhaps not possible to say there's no meaning or benefit in doing these whatsoever, or it's not possible to say there isn't any benefit in these things. Nevertheless, without knowing the Buddhist teachings, this benefit is relatively small.
Teni terang rigpa chusoko teni koso ngala karizegzena tangatso dirib nyeshi tsakchik bagnala teni motso nyamlin china nyamlin nyangbu dawo te kanti shegondo dikola kabda jizene koso teni shakanduse.
And this evening I was asked by several Rigpa students to speak to what the essence or the key focus of practice for Buddhists in the 21st century should be.
Tinti ina nyamling ka nyambo tifsha gona tambo ngarang so mashi pada mandrik pada ngaso kyunde tambo she gore mato kyunde tambo mashina teni ngaso kyun mayim ba yang tak bade kangende hago maris.
So before speaking about what essentially the essence of our focus should be, it's important to speak about the errors and shortcomings and inadequacies. It's only by first addressing these that we then know what the proper path to follow is.
Teni te yendi teni nge ngaso bobada teni yami ge teni chuba cho teni ngaso ta lama so yinandra teni ngaso loma cho yinandra teni chu yang tak ba teni to lojong shi matap teni shawa jamba tak leni teni ndung du jite teni kyoncha rin du teni shina teni ngaso teni nyamling ke nyambo kana yo hako marezini mete sha goya ge jimsang chite yins.
And so it's for this reason to expose or to shed light on, in fact, what the essence of our practice should be, that I have first spoken about the inadequacies and shortcomings of Tibetan lamas and lay practitioners and Chinese followers too.
Teni ta ngaso teni kyunti te yena teni ta yang tak ba ta ba te ngaso kan go zina teni ta ba timjong zina timjang timjong tongnit ta timjir o te ya bo ngaso lojong she go res ngaso kang la lojong she go zina te la lojong she go res.
So in terms of what the correct focus of our or the correct orientation, what we should be concerning ourselves with is the study of dependent origination and emptiness.
Teni tongba nye ka ton timjong go ton te ya bo z teni ha ko sona teni ngaso tongnye zya te tang timjong zya ti tsik jingni ti teni ngaso zambalang da jistin chamala ndeshi jab thap gres. Tongnye ta timjong zya teni te ti ton tak te ni po ta teni ngaso teni go ten jistin ka kham ta la par ndeshi jab thap gres. Zambalang de ngubo gandang kaya na tongnyin mayin ba yo mare temjong mayin ba yo mare tongnyin tang temjong ya bo go sona teni ngaso sama ha ko ro res.
And it's by developing an understanding and realization of these two things, emptiness and dependent origination, that we will be able to understand and explain the nature of all phenomenon in the world.
Teni ti thola ngarang so teni tongnyin kana ne haliba ga zapshu de kan rezena pena ngaso tani yami ge tani ta chugunane na pena chanjong zini te khochu tani shadewa ge tani simgirang jin shapate pe zabmo ya bores tani ngaso bogana la ina tani pena shagya chimbo ta zoba chimbo tani shapa o te haliba tang zabmo ta haliba ge tani yori tani te to ashimishi tani targores.
So in respect of emptiness, and the nature of the mind, the Chan teachings have many deep and profound explanations and insights into these. So too do the Mahamudra and Dzogchen teachings of the Tibetan tradition. So it's in terms of realizing these things that we need to orient our energies.
Teni te terang shaya ga teni tondak sim gnani teni tambo tawazi ya te yins.
So in respect of the first thing that I began by talking about tonight, the importance of view, these things are all relevant to that, developing a proper view.
Tani nipata tani ta nga so tawa te da muk taware tani nga so muk tani lamkha te yakpo rik charna tani tan drogo gore droate tani gomba se gore tani gomba te kandi she go nge tabdiz tani moto she ke yins.
So once we have established the proper view, we have determined with our eyes the path we need to follow, it's now necessary for us to take steps to move along that path. So I'd now like to address the second point of meditation or practice.
Tani gomba gum nyamrin zeate tani nga so tani gomba halipat mas mamu ni tani ramba jinte yar kale ro gore pena nga so 보고 총총서 로종시 비네컵나 담보 롭다 총총로 더니 롭다 장본로 더니 롭다 첨보나 란로 안다 보레 름진로 고레스 담보 가서 레라보도 곰고레스.
So in respect of our meditation practice, it's essential that we follow a gradual path, taking things step by step in the proper process, in the proper order of progress. So just as we begin with primary school and move on to middle school or high school, so too with our meditation practice do we need to start off with the basics.
Teni nga so musatang sala nga so tawam thumbu pem thumbu yona yakborezi. Ina gombatin nga so mamuni ya ndro gore ma gombatin thumbu ni mar yona tan marezi.
So in respect of view, it's great if we have a really high view, a really advanced view, but in terms of our practice, it's important that we start off at the beginner level, at the basics, and then progress from there. Starting off at the very highest level is not a viable approach.
Tandi indi ngaso boba ge chunyamlen shi dekhen gatni yang makashi kashi gozena ngaso jamba tiri ngaso ngundo ndawo ta tini ngaso lordog namje ngundo tsemartak ba tamjo nyeka tindi tsu ngaso gumgum manse ngarang ga jokba chimbo gumgin tambo ni ngarang ga jokba chimbo gumgin si tindi zenkhen mambo ngaso boba ga nala yore yaag nala tindi mambo ndu tani yoran tsu no shokomi nala tindi yosaris.
There are many people who say that in actual fact we don't need to concern ourselves with the preliminary practices. It's not necessary for us to meditate on the four thoughts that turn the mind, for example. It's quite okay to go straight to the Dzogchen teachings. There are many people in Tibet who say this. There are people in China who say this too, and I dare say there are probably people in the West who think this way as well.
Teni tindi shena teni te tongsam nguma terezi tongsam rezi ten ribji amarete te tongdak jiji amarze ngaso pena khamba sak gug tolan gona lokke ngana landona tambo sak tambo nani lokke ngana la pharanjene teni yaran gore ma to ba tambo ni sak jeba tola marndo sa te yo marete te tang chik paris.
But this view or this is completely empty. It's unfounded. If we want to go to the 10th floor of a building, it's necessary that we get in the lift and go up, ascend level by level. It's not possible to fly or jump to the 10th floor all of a sudden at the very beginning.
Karti kyorang teni sak gaba na la de denken tambu ni kyorang ten rim thombo zela lip de yong khen sigina teni sak gaba na ni par lokke na la ndona teni yaran ndona chokores.
Of course, if you're on the 9th floor or to begin with, then it's possible for you to get in the lift and go up to the 10th floor.
Karti kyorang tangbo sak tangbo go thola de yong khen sak tangbo go thola chi masala de yong khen tin rizina tani sak tangbo na ne par lokke na lan ze gore ma to ba sak gaba da jaba da ti so thola ndo thabyo mares.
However, if you live on the first floor of this building, it's necessary for you to get in the lift and go up from the first floor. It's not possible for you to start your ascent at the 8th or 9th levels.
Tendi ndo sam na nga so sak tambola de yong ken se nga sak gba ni par ndo yin se na te tong sam re do thab ko mare se ka ni ndo go re do thab ko mare ye kyo ka te sak gba ni par lok ke na lan ndo na tini tambu cho sak gba lan ndo go te ni par ndo re te ma tong ro ya yo mare te tang chik bares.
So a person who lives on the first floor wanting to start immediately or go immediately to the 9th floor, this is just a thought made in vain. If one wants to ascend to the 9th or 10th floors, it's necessary to ascend each floor one at a time.
Teni te yin sarti teni nga so sama darta nga so sama le tangbo ba indi tini nga so sama tsak tangbo la de yong ken ta ma to chi jang yo ma re si sama tsak tangbo la yo re tini chi Korang so taranga yanchu gum yakpo jabni tini nyamtok halipan thumbo tini yongken yinna tini tsak gyapa gaba tini la yongken yujiri mato ba. Ngarang so tini ta nga so sarda tini le tangbo ba shini nangchu la lojong shenken tini yinna nga so sama tsak tangbo la yore zi. Te yona nga so tsak tangbo ni par lokke na lan zi chego chabduk chego rezi.
So if we are beginners to Buddhism, if we're people just starting out, then it's important that we recognize that we are on the first floor and we need to get in the lift and ascend from the first floor.
Tani sak tangbo de kare re zina, ta nga so lodrö namje zina choko, yana nga so thamungu ngunru o zina chokonduk, yana nga so ngimjung gum zina chokore, donla chikbari te resi te sak tangbo tini lokkenra o te resi te na nga so musda se na ja thongmar nga so tini tharwi lam yang takba chu yang takba nga so nyamlin chi tini samna tini jamba nga so driwa ka ke yo mari tangbo kale shini tini lordog namji ta gom go gres ngonro te gom go gre thumungu ngonro te gom go gres.
So the first floor or the first level of practice as beginners is the four thoughts that turn the mind, the four common preliminary practices.
Tani lordog namji te yakboz gomjagna tani nga so semla karike yongre zena tani nga so semla ngimjung sambaze ya tekye gres.
So the objective of engaging in the four common preliminaries is to generate the mind of renunciation.
Teni ngimjong ko sambaze ate kangris la zegrezina ta nga so moshke na nga so mur sola samlo mambo yoreze nga so masindala teni so la teni muir mambo yore ta kashi na koran shikbo shina te nga mase muir ta ngara jishikbo shina te gang du samkan teni yore kashi na teni ngara teni pombo chimbo wangchap chimbo yongkan teni shina ga samkan teni yore kashi na ngara nyanchak zambol la konkan teni yona samkan yore so mase muir te teni ramda mambo res.
So when we talk of renunciation, when we speak of renunciation, we recognize that as ordinary beings, we have all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of aspirations. Some people in this life want to achieve wealth, some people want to achieve status, other people want to achieve fame.
Ta nga so di kapsa nga so ta moschike na nga so ngondro gombi jis teni korang ka samlo kante kega zena ta ngarang la gemangbo yona chokondu mena nangka chimpo mendu teni ngarang la wangcha chimpo yona ndikre mena te nangka mendu teni ngarang la teni nyanchak halipa chimpo yona ndikre te mena teni te nangka chimpo mendu ta ngarang yinta menda ngarang goyate kangre zena teni nga tarwa thubgo ndu ze ngarang tele nga sung korwa ga nala nga kega nanche ga dungmar mambo ndu te ngarang tarwa thubgo nga yintamanda tarwa lamla tarwi lamla ngandro yin samba ga samlo te pe yakboz kesona teni tela ngimjong ga samlo zegres.
So renunciation, the result of us having engaged in the preliminary practices is arriving at a point where we feel that it's okay if we're rich, it's okay if we're not, it's no big deal if we're not, and so it is in respect of all our other worldly pursuits, whether it be status and fame, etc. Essentially, our new priority becomes entering onto the path of liberation and transcending the sufferings of cyclic existence. That is what becomes our essential priority.
Teni tadanga tarwi lamlan rogo ndu sambaga samlo te teni yakboz teni kesona teni tanga so teni ngimjong zegre ngimjong te yakbo kesona teni nga so tarwi lamlan roya ga ngosk sowaris.
So it's this desire, this resolve to transcend cyclic existence and enter into the path of liberation that is renunciation. And when we've cultivated renunciation, when we've developed this, we have begun our journey along the path of liberation.
Teni tenji ge samlo zu yung gona ta nga yin tam da ngarang tharwa thop go ndu samba ge samlo tenji zu gona teni te le labo mareze te nga so samlo mambo tang go re teni shok shok ni samlo mambo tang na teni ta zo o ta ngarang ge samna ta jamba so ton dak chimbu jing mendu o ta ge mambo yona ndik mena te ton dak chimbu jing mendu o ta nga so teni nyam chak da wang cha ta te so yona chukun du mena te nang ge mendu te 돈닥 침부 문득 문이 장네 돈닥 요야 경부 요야 무마테 다 타르와 톱나 때레 삼그레 이나 때 가서 삼로 망부 땅고 그래 마토 바테 삼로 망부 마토나 가서 틴디 삼로즈 용고나 페 레라보 마레즈.
So generating this desire to attain liberation is not something actually that comes easily. It's something that we can only generate after a really long practice of contemplating on many different issues and contemplating on things from many different perspectives. And it's only after having engaged in this really thorough process of reflection that we are able to generate a strong feeling that engaging in other kinds of things isn't really meaningful, and that what we want as our key priority is in fact liberation from cyclic existence.
Tenita nga su ton gomba nipa de kangrezina ta ngarang tharwa thop go ndu samni tharwa thop ya te nga su nga lam tharwa ga lam te lan roya te thak cha chawi jini teni ta kare sam ko rezina ta ngarang rang chikpo tharwa thop na te ton tak chimbo mendu se ta nga su zambalang la teni mutong shir dunchi yore tinane ngarang mos chik tharwa thop na te ton tak chimbo chi mendu nge tsama tharwa thop ya teni tablange samlo tang go ndu se nga su tsama tharwa thop ya tenjis ke ton lang samlo tang go ndu ma to ngarang rang chi po tharwa to sona ta ton dak chimpu ji mendu samne teni tit gomba nipa ti tenjis samlo tang go ris.
So the second step after we have generated renunciation is reflecting on the fact that achieving liberation just for oneself is in fact not very meaningful. There are 7 billion other people in the world, and so just achieving one's own liberation and not concerning oneself for that of others is not an excellent situation.
Di samlo ta tele kyang le labo mare se ta nga chun zambalang ko mo thamche tang teni taron zambalang chi ke chak mare mus chi ke yang chak mare simchin thamche je go re nga chun nangba yin na simchin thamche teni tharwa thobya ga tonda di tonlang nge samlo tang di tonlang nge le ka shi di tonlang nge basun che ge yang sambi samlo ta tele kyang le labo mare ha le pa khabo re se.
However, this desire this turning one's mind, in fact, to the situation of others, the liberation of others, and the determination to work and strive and make all kinds of efforts to bring about the liberation of others is something that doesn't come about easily at all.
Tini te le labo maindi teni nga chu teli jang samlo mambo tang go re samlo mambo tang na teni gimsen mambo go thola samlo tang na teni nge ngarang chikbo tharwa top na ndik mandu ze simchen thamche tharwa top go ndu ze te gowi gimsen tang re ze ta te gimsen mambo yore to changma go thola teni ndang mambo jab samlo mambo tang ni teni shi one teni kale nga so teni sim go tang ni o 다 나랑 직보 타르와 톱나 나랑 타르와도 톱고 근도 다이나 나랑 직보 톱나 돈다 치보면도 당에 상마 타르와 톱야가 돈달랑인 바바시가 삼지 삼로도 더니 타마 기용 거래 더니 데라 상십 그 셈제 그래서.
So it's for this reason the difficulty of generating this aspiration to work for the liberation of others in addition to oneself that it's necessary to again do a great deal of contemplation and reflection on the situation of other beings, their suffering, why we should in fact work for their benefit, etc. And it's by engaging in these contemplations, reflections, etc., and the final aspiration, when we finally generate the aspiration from the depths of our hearts, that we will indeed strive and undertake all efforts for the benefit of others so that they attain liberation as well. When we've done this, this is we will have generated bodhicitta.
Tani karte ngarang rang chikpote ngarang thara thubgo di tolangem batsun shega yin samni tindi samna tani thakpa mambase gres thakpa chungshongse gres tani nge simchin tamchi ko tolange baba chego ndu ma to ngarang chikpote tongtak chimbo mare samni tani ge samlo de nguni jangni kesona tani nga so tela thakpa chimbo zene tani se gres.
If we don't have the aspiration to work for the liberation of all beings, rather our aspiration is to achieve our own liberation, then this is an aspiration at the level of the Hinayana tradition. If we are able to genuinely arouse the aspiration, however, to work for the liberation of all beings in addition to ourselves, then this is the aspiration of the Mahayana vehicle.
Tani shanship ke sip di gomyate tani ta samlo tansar mambo yore te nga so boba ge chulu ke nangla yopan ra hoz tan zambal ge chulu gang nangla yo mandig zi nga so bo ke chu nangla ti shanship ke sim gomsar tela hal lepa mambo yore zi jachimbo gona chimbo yore yo tab debo chongchong gona chongchong yore yo ram mambo re te nga so sama boba ge chula te zi chargi yon kan sama ha ko re zi nga so jungta susu nangla pe na nyangma yenna re sakya yenna gelu yenna sama chikpare susu riri ge nangla tini shanship ke sim go tini gomthap te hal lepa mambo ndus.
And it's in respect of meditational techniques and practices on bodhicitta, or in respect of cultivating bodhicitta, that the Tibetan tradition has a great wealth. Anyone with some familiarity of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition will know that meditations on bodhicitta, from very straightforward, simple and abbreviated practices to those that are longer and more complex, are present in all of the different lineages and schools, including the Nyingma, the Guluk, etc.
Teni ti kapsa nga chu gomya go zote ti nga chu shanship ku sem gom go res yeneng te tang nyamde teni nga chu ngondro bum nga zine teni kyamdo ta teni semkiti ti na shanship ku sem na ti kar cheshu de re teni mandar ta teni dorsim gomle ta teni lami namjur zine to sor nga bo to go re ti na ni kar cheshu ti teni shanship ku sem gomya de res.
So this is the second step on the way. In addition to meditating on bodhicitta, we also need to engage in the accumulations of the 5 preliminary practices. However, of the 5 preliminary practices, the most important thing is the cultivation of bodhicitta.
Teni tinti ngondro mbumnga ngondro mbumnga ziyata teni ngondro lordong namje gomlukti teni boba ga chu teni korang ga chogo teni nyamlim shi lugz rema to ba te nga so jamba na la mendugse yinang pe na ya ga chu na la yana mangchi shu nga so boba da chigbare te na nga so ngimjong ya ga chu ga go re shangchip ko semde yami ya ga chu na la mambu sha yore te go re nga so chama ga teni go re ji yinang ti tabshi gum nyamlim shi ya ga teni tabshin ra wo te boba ga chu na la mambo re ti thola nga so ngondro thomong ngondro jeze ya da teni thomong mai bi ngondro nga ze ya da to so sama bo ga chu sha lig rin dus yinang dong go thoni sama chik bares.
So the preliminary practices, the 4 common preliminaries and the 5 uncommon preliminaries, these are special to the Tibetan tradition. However, the goals they are oriented to achieving are common to other Buddhist traditions, such as the Chinese Buddhist tradition. The Chinese tradition too emphasizes the cultivation of bodhicitta, the cultivation of renunciation. However, in respect of concrete practices, the Tibetan tradition has a great wealth, including the preliminary practices.
Teni te gom sarvi jini tang so teni journey gomna yak bores journey thing aso shirtang aso boba chugna la journey gomya hal liba mambo yore sanga kana la mambo ndu teni aso yami chugna la haliba mambo yore teni aso di loshok nyantu chugna la yo pe mambo ndu te gang gomna parche manchewa te chikshu chikba ra bore gangstar aso teni journey gomne teni sem jewa yakbo yongya chetatani journey gomgo gore sangtang gomgo gores.
So having completed the preliminary practices, we then move on to the practice of shamatha meditation. There are many different shamatha meditation techniques in the Vajrayana tradition, as well as in the Chinese Buddhist tradition, and also in the Theravadan tradition as well. The overall goal of shamatha meditation is to be able to develop the capacity to bring our minds into a state of calmness.
Tani tati gom japsarni journey de yakbo japsabi jini tani tanga so tak jogba chimbo gomna ta yakbo reze nga so journey yakbo gom charti didi parchi nga so khangba na sak dumba gyapa gba tinjila lep char songse te nga so ta ngondo ngimjongyang gomchar teni shangcheku semya gomchar teni journey gomchar na ta nga so sak gyapa gba tinjila lep yore teni sak gyapa gba par drone teni yaran drona ta lamsang le lapo nga so ti khangba ga thola lem dogres.
So it's after we have established a firm foundation in shamatha practice that we are ready to begin studying and practicing the Dzogchen teachings. When we have completed our training in shamatha meditation, we can consider ourselves to have reached perhaps the 7th or 8th level of the building. And having reached this level, it's now relatively easy for us to get in the elevator and go quickly up to the higher levels.
Teni khangba tsak gba thoni jipati kangrezina teni nga tongba ni ki ton tokba te resi teni zogba chimbo yinanda te mai ba nga so shagja chimbo yinanda yamana pena jame teni te chugnani teni khon so teni chanjong zgre di tini te nala gomjablik da sem go teni nelik yakbo toya pe yakbo mambo yore te so kangi na chikbare o teni ta jima teni ta tongba ni ki ton tok go re te thama deres.
So having reached the 9th level of the building, what our goal now is, or our task is, to realize the nature of emptiness. And this is something we can do through different practices, the Dzogchen teachings, the Mahamudra teachings, or in the Chinese tradition, the teachings of Chan. All of these are very good techniques or practices we can use to gain a realization of the nature of emptiness.
Teni teso tanga zo je zongkha pa teni lamchu namba samga nala sombi teni ngimjong da shangship ke semda tongni ki tawazini sumbo tere teso ramba jin de nyamlim che go res.
So these things, these three things, the cultivation of renunciation, bodhicitta, and developing a correct view of emptiness, were described by Tsongkhapa in his 3 principal aspects of the path.
Teni tenji ge nyamlin shi cherte te nga zo tirib ni shi chak bayen nari ni shi chani bayen nari tirib simchi bayen nari jibchi bayen nari nam na te ma to jamba go mari jamba yo mari te tenji shini nyamlin che go res.
And this course or this path of practice is one that works for us in the 21st century, the 22nd century, the 30th century, the 40th century, regardless of where we are or when we are. This is a good path of progress.
Oh yeah. Teni tenji ti gom nyamlin shi cherte pe na nga zo boba chogon ra hoina kandi samgorezina ngaso marcha pomo chogo to lama chogo gom ya ra o tenji zila jokore nga zo boba chogo marcha pomo chi manando ya da ta kora ja ya o tenji ra o res samni tenji samgo ya re tenji mareze nga zo te nga zo norwa re ndeuze teni marcha pomo yenare teni sidang se yena teni nga zo teni gom gyap go re gyap chokoreze gom gyap ma gom khang mo chigyo mareze nga zo sama gyap go re teni lama so gom jab dena tini ngaso marcha pomo gom marjibna lama so sangje sona tini ngaso marcha pomo sangje ro marese lama so koran so sangje sona ngaran so korwa na la taron de go rese tindi yendi susu rang gom jabeti karchim bore chama gom jab go re chama lojong she go rese.
So in respect of meditating in this way and studying in this way, many Tibetans feel that this is essentially the task of lamas and ordained people. It's not, in fact, it's not suitable or appropriate for lay people. But in actual fact, this isn't the case. It isn't the case that lamas attain Buddhahood while lay people stay stuck in samsara. Everybody alike needs to study and practice the Dharma, to meditate.
Tanga so terang nge tini nga so gum jawa shalikti te tsi tini ndur di rawo shini tini kotun ndur dipan rapore yina te karte nga so jima gumna tini tazo rimbe lojong shini chiri lojong shi tini chiri gumni tini rogo re mato nga so terang shapan tini tab depozuk yongo mare taro tsama gale shini chiri rimba jinda tini lojong shi tsari jisi tini gum jab nyamlin shi tini rona tini soso machi chendala yang demo che po yongya chifshimala yang demo che po yongya tindis yongres.
So tonight I've just really outlined the path of meditation in very broad brushstrokes. In actual fact, the path of meditation needs to be taken step by step, gradually, with the appropriate study and practice going hand in hand. And if everyone practices like this, then it is certainly the case that you will attain great happiness in this life and future lives.
Ta sambate kangrezina nga so terang shapi tawaji teni gombaji teni shobare ta sambate shobare teni shobate karezina shertang shopala nga so mambu yore mambu nane nge terang shapate nga so paror to shimba drik nane teni jimba oti korto teni nga so nyamlin shi ki kar chimbore nduz tirmi shi tsa bandi nala chabar de kar chimbore nduz.
So, having addressed the view and meditation, we now move on to conduct or action. And in respect of this, in light of us being in the 21st century, I would like to talk about the 6 perfections, but particularly the first, the perfection of generosity.
Tani jimba jiorzi, ngasu jimba tela kazi orzi na jimba la jiorzi.
We divide the generosity or the practice of generosity into 4 types of generosity.
Teni jimba jignani tambodi kangrezina tambodi ngaso pena mo warwonda ota yana teni pena chi ta lhoma yana lhoma lhopta nala doya ga teni lhoyum me pandao yana teni chi napa mangkhang nala teni ta ton khan teni mayu me pa tapena Australia yakap tini dapoina jung go tini mambola japchip she yo sare tini mekyo yo na mena meshite kantaran zambala na mekyo namyo yore shipo yo na kyo yo yore chama shipo tagdare ro mare tini yendi o tini go motto sola tini ta ngaso go tini susu nipa ganyo ko toni tini robachi ata yang pena ngaso sacha ndela yena da tini sacha jambala yena da tini kaps pena rangshong kam go tini nopa o sayum gyab yenrao ta chelo yongwa ta tini go nopa shongna tini ti kaps soso go tini kabli te pena jenur longshut na tini gormo tini yona tini parkyo yana soso go kabli gyab ya gantar ti thokla tini ta ngaso shikyab go rezi ti thokla pena ishishulugi na pe yakbo rezi koso ishishulugi tini mambo ti thokla leka mambo legendu tini ngaso nangba yinna ngaso zhunga nala mambo mambo sheyore tini goze ne haliba mambo sheyore rete ngaso lalinga thone te yakbo yunga manduguzi.
So the first kind of generosity is material generosity to those who are in difficult or unfortunate situations, such as students who are not able to afford their student fees, or ill people, destitute people, victims of natural disasters, etc., lending material assistance to them. This is something that in fact, the Christian tradition is very strong in and has done very well in respect of, despite the fact that the Buddhist scriptures, in fact, constantly urge the need for generosity and material giving. This is perhaps one area in which the Buddhist tradition has not implemented its teachings as well as it could have.
Tene nga zo nangbala yang karte chi nipayo na koso pena jo gormo tsu tini yongken tsu tini nga zo shusoko tola ji lobja la tiri rokyor shia mangkhang jawyan data lobja jawyan data tini yana ti mo gargila tini rokhshia ndao mo tini to gorwola rokhshia ndao dorna kantar ngubo go thoni tini to shusokla tini japshi ya ti tola pen thonchim she go re te sanji ngamani mambu songdukta ina nga zo lagling yak boyong gumandukta tiribni chachik pan din nangla the halipa karchimbo nerkabz rendozi te go rezi nga zo nipa kangyo na tin is go rezi nipa tang tni.
So in the 21st century, it's extremely important that Buddhists, in accordance with their capacity, according to their abilities and their means, find ways to materially benefit students by building schools, assisting in hospitals, old people, poor people.
Teni tonda nipati nga so jimpa nipati karazena teni semchin sola teni manjikpa zina mastakpa jimpa zigre pena nga so moyin nanja teni tendro yin nanja teni koso pena chi semgo tola jikchak mambo yung go nanja yana libu go tola jikchak mambo yung go nanja pena nga so ta mojik teni mo tola teni yona yana teni tendro tola yona koso sok jawya mi sok jawya ta tendro sok jawya ta o teni pena tsore pena mangkhang na la yo pi napa ga sok jam nanja te maim bi teni ta ta nga so rangshong kam gen jikpa shong ne kumna teni te la rokpa chini mo so sok jam nanja ganser koso teni sok jawya te la zegre te halipa kar chimpolan jokore jemba nipati tere ti tola nga so shigyap go res.
The second form of generosity is the generosity of, or the giving of fearlessness, and this refers to the saving of life, the rescuing of a person or a being that is facing the great fear of or danger of losing their life. So whether this be saving the life of an ill person in hospital or a person whose life is in danger in society, this is one area in which we should make strong effort.
Teni jemba sambade kangrezena teni nga so teni chuji jemba zegre ta te nga so halipa ga teni nga so nangba yenna te nga so teni je chachu ngomati tereze teni nga so chu jemba jinze zegate kangrezena nga so chu toni teni par chuchu shananda wang karnanda gangena